Bitch, you know I'm saucing, yeah, I do this often. Think that she the one, bitch, you know that I got options. Diamonds on my neck, yeah, they dripping like a faucet. Pull up with a tech, when you walk, proceed with caution.
Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to teach you all 3 simple effects to improve your cinematics, and let's get right into it. So I've already saved a file as simple effects tutorial, and I already imported my 3 pieces of footage for the 3 effects that I'm going to show you. So with that, let's create a new composition. We're going to call this one main, and let's drag our first piece of footage into here. We're going to disable the audio, and we're going to pre-compose this. We're going to do move all attributes into a new composition, and I'm going to adjust the layer footage for the duration. So we're going to call this one tilt zoom. Click OK. Disable audio again, and then we're going to click on our tilt zoom comp, and we're going to trim up our footage from here. So right when we start moving back, so right here we're going to do alt left bracket to cut it, and then we're going to go back to the front of our timeline and hit only left bracket to bring to the front. We're going to go right about here, and then we're going to hit alt right bracket to cut the footage at the end, and this should be good for all we need. So with that on our layer, make sure it's selected. We're going to hit S on our keyboard for scale. Next we're going to hold shift and hit R on our keyboard to bring up the rotation at the same time. You're going to hit your stopwatch keys to create keyframes at the beginning of your footage. And we're going to go right before the end of our footage. So not when it goes transparent or ends, but the keyframe right before it. So now that we're there, we're going to do our rotation. We're going to go about 25. So this is going to tilt our rotation as it goes through the footage. But as you can see, the edges are being cut out. So we're going to use these the scale to fix that. So we're going to zoom the scale all the way until our edges are all the way in. We're going to go around 170 for this. And then just go back through and make sure you watch your edges as they tilt. Make sure it's not being cut off. You can get away with a slight cut at the top. You can get away with that. Like, that's okay. But I'm probably gonna crank it up just a little bit more on the scale at the end. So make sure you go back to your keyframe, and you can crank it to like 172. That should be good. Now with this, you should note that you will lose a little bit of quality because you are zooming in so far into the footage. So that's just something to note. But it does look clean because you can make it have the appearance that it's rotating the camera as you go backwards. So we'll play this out, see how it looks. See, it looks pretty good. Now, if you want to preserve quality, you don't have to go all the way to 25 on your angle. You can go to about 15, and with it only being at a 15-degree angle, you can also lower the scale as well and do the same thing to preserve quality. But if you want a harsher tilt, then you're gonna have to zoom in more, of course. So that's the first effect that we're gonna have. We're gonna go back to our main composition. We're gonna drag in our second piece of footage, which is a red knight running. We're also going to pre-compose this. We're going to call this leave color. Alright, we'll take off the audio, go on here, and let's trim this up. Starts around here. So remember, alt left bracket on our keyboard. Go back to the front, hit left bracket only, brings it to the front. Cut it off right about here. So alt right bracket, we'll trim it. Next we want to go to our effects and presets. I already had one pulled up, we'll X out of that. And on this we're going to type in leave color. And it should pop up under color correction, the tab. Drag it onto your footage. So what this effect does is you select a color that you want, and when you start to turn up this percentage on the decolor, it'll leave that color while turning everything else black and white. So Depending on what you want to decolor, you can either leave in this shade of red, or you can just leave in the eyes. For this one, I'm going to leave only the eyes in, so we'll take our color selector tool, and we're going to click on the eyes. So it's a shade of orange, technically. So to make this effect look good, we're going to do keyframes. But just to show you all what it looks like, so we're going to turn up this percentage right here on the decolor, and you see how it leaves in only the eyes. So what you can do is turn this back to 0. We're going to click the stopwatch tool up here on amount to decolor, go around halfway through your footage, and then crank it up to about, I'll say about 70% would work. Blackens out most of the stuff. So now this will create kind of like a fade to black and white type effect, while still preserving the eyes. And if you ever want to adjust how long it takes and you don't know how to mess with the keyframes again, on this layer, if you want to bring up all your keyframes, oh sorry about that, exit out of that. On this layer, make sure it's selected, hit U on your keyboard, and it'll bring up everything that you keyframed. So now we can either make it last longer, the duration for it to take out the color, or we can make it shorter. Whatever you want to do. So that is the leave color effect. That is standard with After Effects. Everyone should have it. It's not a plugin. Let's go back to our main. We're going to go on to our final effect. Go to project, and we're going to get our last piece of footage in. Take off the audio, pre-compose. We're going to call this mirror. Disable audio. Go into our mirror composition. And again, let's trim this up. Okay. Alt left bracket. Make sure it's selected. Alt left bracket. Go back to the front, left bracket. And right about there, Alt right bracket. Now you want to go to your effects and presets, and you want to type in mirror. Should pop up under distort. Drag it onto your footage. You want to change your reflection angle to 270. And then you want to adjust your reflection center. This is your X, this is your Y. You want to adjust the Y, you want to lower it. And it's going to raise the top footage up and give you a mirror-like surface effect. This is a really simple one, but it looks really nice. So we'll let this play out. And it creates that, you know, that double sky look effect. It looks pretty cool. It's just a simple thing to add to your cinematics that can really enhance the quality of your intros or montages. So with that, that's going to be it for this tutorial. I thought I'd do simple effects for y'all that require no plugins. And with that, thanks for watching, and peace. I just had to cut her off. Choppers any in my tech, now I'm dozing off. Bitch, you know I'm saucing, yeah, I do this often. Think that she the one, bitch, you know that I got options.